Something people don't know about podcast disclaimers. They're the ultimate cover our butts move. All right, folks, let's get real. You know those disclaimers at the start of podcasts? The ones that say these opinions are our own and not our employers, friends, or anyone who might sue us. Yeah, those. Why do we need them? Because Stacey and Casey here, well, we might say something bonkers. And we don't want you blaming our bosses, our moms, or that guy who bagged our groceries last week. Nope, it's all on us, people. Think of it like this. We're just two dudes with microphones and way too much free time. And while we're at it, let's be clear. Our jokes, rants, and random thoughts, purely our own genius or nonsense. Depends on the day, so sit back, relax, and remember, if you're offended, it's definitely not because of our employers. It's all Stacey and Casey, baby. Covering our butts, one disclaimer at a time.
What it do, baby?
What it is, jive turkeys,
What's
mother suckers. So I'm trying to curse less.
Hey, we're trying to push the limits more.
Hey.
I'm Stacey,
I'm Casey.
and this is the
Stacey and Casey show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Trying to kick my feet up and relax my feet.
Hey, I just want to start the show first and foremost.
There we go.
I want to send prayers out to the people out there in LA. No matter what your history is, no matter what you've been doing, no matter what you've been fucking, it's still fucked up and unfortunate what you're going through. So prayers out to you. But again, I just want to say, fuck the celebrity pedophiles, right?
Fuck them.
Dead pedophiles don't reoffend.
But we're gonna get into that
Later on.
later on. We're gonna get into a lot of stuff because man, Facebook is taking off some cuffs. From what I've been told, it's not official yet.
No, it's hasn't taken place yet.
Oh yeah,
but it's official.
Zuckerberg has come out. Anyway,
Well, you said it. We might as well play it. Let them see it real quick. Get it out the way.
what the Zuckerberg thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Fuck
yeah,
it.
push the envelope. Do it.
Let me get there.
Do it, motherfucker.
I'm trying. Where did this clip go? All right. Well, give me 1 minute.
That's cool. But yeah, we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over all this fucking snow. That's some bullshit. You don't know what I'm talking about, then you need to get out of your mom's basement and quit playing a fucking Grand Theft Auto and looking up porn.
I'll find the video and post it. It's not on.
Yeah, but anyways, we're pushing the envelope. We got a lot of stuff to
Man,
discuss.
talking snow.
Oh,
I all week was like,
so pretty.
they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They always get it wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking
Man.
after the first day, and like we got what was it, Saturday night? I woke up Sunday morning. I looked outside the window like a little kid, like cleaning my eyes. I was like, fucking bullshit. This stuff's gay. I started saying stuff like that. You're not supposed to say.
Hey, according to the new world, with Trump coming back, I'm just saying we're probably gonna be able to start saying things we couldn't.
Yeah.
And
Long story
Zuckerberg-
short, a couple hours later though, holy snow and a half, dude. We got like 14 inches, I want to say, maybe about 12 to 14 inches.
We had about 10 to 12 out there.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We actually our office was closed down Monday, so Monday we didn't go in. Paul
Shit,
and I
school's been down all week.
I was lazy all day, and we did just hung out at the house, and I got to drive my truck through the backyard with
So
four-wheel
you
drive.
couldn't leave your house if you wanted
I
to.
had
with
I
all
got
that
these new
snow.
tires. I got those new AT. I got these big old fucking rubber manly tires.
All terrains.
Yeah, and I got that Ram, that 2017. So it's just like four-wheel drive. I broke a running board.
Playing too damn much.
My wife had yelled at me. It was like behind the parking lot at work. They were like, they packed all that snow up with
The mounds, yeah.
Yeah, the mounds. Well, I was like, you know what? I bet you I can get 2 tires up on top of this mound and drive it like in a movie. Well, they had like a lot of backup vehicles in movies. Like so when one broke, it wasn't a big deal. My wife immediately got angry. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, we can do this." And she's like, "You're such a guy." And as I was coming off the mound, it hit my running board and snapped it off. So I got a running board on the passenger side, but not the driver's side. But
Did you pick it up?
I put it in the trunk. It's picked up. It's in the back of I picked up. I got a nice bed
It
cover.
will be remounted.
You know what? I like kind of taking that big manly step into the truck. I don't need like a little half step in there. I was like, yeah, this is cool. It feels like my truck got bigger. Except for now I got to take the one off the passenger side, so it created more work for me. That's some
No, who
bullshit.
notices? Because really, you only see one side of the truck at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I see it from the side with the running board, it's like, damn, that's badass. If I see it from the other side, damn, that's badass. You know, just never knew.
My truck has so many looks. So many looks. Dude, the snow is freaking gorgeous, though. I let all the chickens out. They all stayed inside the barn area. None of them went out in the snow. The ducks kind of checked it out a little bit. We had a couple chicken deaths to sum it up. You know, when we take like the teenagers out of the middle area to general population, not a prison,
They don't mix.
but sometimes when they're cooping up or trying to stay warm, a turkey will come up and like sit on one, or one will get trampled. That's the way they die. So yeah, we had a couple get trampled. So anyways, it comes with the territory, but we're up to like 115 birds. We got 12 more in the incubator, and that's what we got going on at the homestead. We have a
Hey, Happy New Year, Jared.
Jared.
Yeah, Happy New Year. So, love and family, or blessings to your family as well, sir. Now, as far as this sounds with the chickens, man, that's
I still got to send out my New Year's. I got all those New Year's cards to send out to people, and I handed some out in the office to like some people I like, but I didn't mail any of them yet. And it's like,
well,
man,
I
they're
didn't
gonna get them
receive
in
one,
like
so ain't that a bitch?
April, like Happy New Year. You know,
Hey, look, we were supposed to send out Christmas cards with pictures in them, and I just realized how fucked up of a person I am that I just didn't even try. Like in my mind, I'm like, the people that see him, they're the ones that are in his life. People that don't see him, you could easily see him. You know, like that's just how I think about it. So I
Yeah.
get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's not important to me really, and I'm sure it's not important to the people who get them. It's just something you can put on your fridge for a while before you throw away. And your kid says, "Who in the fuck is that?" You're like, "Oh, that's part of the family. That he's a real asshole." You know, I'm sure a lot of them say that. But yeah, nothing big going on there. Shit, I know who can use some snow. California.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Because we're
Oh,
talking
that's
about all the
fucked
dead
up.
people. No, there's a lot.
Damn.
I'll be honest. When you started off saying like my blessings, hearts go out to the family, I immediately agreed with you, like in my head, but I immediately right after that thought, man, fuck them. It's like because I don't know them. That's why. I have a lot of family in California. I've yet to get one phone call about, oh, Jill's in trouble. No, it just doesn't happen.
Bullshit. You just got invited on a family hike.
Oh yeah, I got invited.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Yes,
well,
I did.
nobody's in a fire. My point is, well, somebody said, "Oh, someone's near the Palisades." They weren't, but
I
no,
don't
in
even
fact,
honestly know what it is. I mean, we're gonna show you some before and aftermath photos, but it looks like a lot of money, and something smells fishy to me. But I'm gonna let you keep going on your opinion of it because I've never been there. I don't know anything about it. Have you seen it
California?
before? No, I'm talking about the Palisades.
Oh, the Palisades. Oh shit, that's only driven through there. I'm from Palmdale High Desert, so when you see Joshua trees, uh, I live right next to the aqueduct, like that. I didn't live near the Palisades. My dad worked for Anheuser-Busch, my stepdad, so he went down to the brewery down in LA. My real dad, he worked for Warner Brothers, so he'd go down to Hollywood a lot. I got to meet a lot of actors and stuff down there. Never saw one fucking tunnel up until earlier today on your computer. But yeah,
Isn't that the point of a tunnel?
yeah, but yeah. Dude, I am so, dude, after the fires in Hawaii, and now we're having the fires here in all these rich areas, all the rich areas. The only time we have fires in ghetto areas is when a bunch of cops beat up a black dude. Then they have a bunch of fires downtown. Otherwise, they're burning up all this like prime real estate and all this conspiracy about tunnels, and they're trying to cover the tracks before Trump gets into office, and fucking
Well, I'm gonna
Putin
say
getting
this,
that
Jared.
fucking airplane full of children.
I haven't heard that
Oh.
song. I'm gonna have us. We'll play that next week.
What song?
Jared said the Weeknd song came to life. Hollywood is bleeding. So that makes me want to listen to it. We'll have to check that out here in a minute and see what we got. Maybe do a reaction video.
Hollywood is bleeding. Like one actor said, like referring to all the actors that do whatever they're told to do and vote who they're told to vote for. He said, "Don't be worried about getting shunned by a Hollywood that's not going to be here tomorrow." You know, uh, yeah, I think
I mean, that goes with actors come and go too, though. So I mean, Hollywood changes all the time. But
name some actors that
for
don't
those
come
who
and go.
don't or haven't seen the Cali fires, we're going to show you some of the before and aftermath because this is just it's catastrophic. Again, prayers to the families out. That's fucking crazy.
That's actually where my family used to go every Thursday. That last building. That's actually right next to the cathedral down in LA. There's a pizzeria, and then there's that building, and we used to go there. And I'm making this shit up. I didn't know any of those buildings.
Okay, I was wondering. No,
But-
as far as the reason this is interesting, in my opinion, is what Casey was just talking about. This is one of those things that it seems to hit fancy, rich areas.
Mm-hmm.
They all have some kind of smart city technology they
bra.
want to imply or implement. And you got Lahaina, you got the place down in South America, now you got Cali. And the fact on this one, there's so many tugs going different ways of what it could be, right? You hear, like you just mentioned, the tunnels, you've never seen them, but you hear that they're burning their tracks, they're covering their tracks, right? And it's got me wondering, is it a cover up or is it a horrible disaster? And it's one of those things that, how did, Jared, you took the word, how did the fire start? Right? This is one thing I wonder. And Jared, you beat me to it. And two, how it spread so quickly, they're saying is the winds, right? California winds.
Something
Now,
will fly over and
there's
start burning this.
well, there's a wildfire every year, and it can start from a cigarette out the window, and the fire marshals will come out and admit it. But one of the theories going on, which was crazy, is the reptilian theory, which I'm not going to go into too much, but the theory that they're burning their houses down to cover up evidence from this pedophile ring because Donald Trump is about to come in office and he's going to put out the lists on the first day. And you're going to see all this evidence of underground tunnels that lead to the Playboy Mansion, to the Getty Museum. And there was an interesting list put out. And I was showing it to Casey this list about satanic sites. And they're saying they're going to burn them all to the ground. The interesting thing is, I want you to look at this list and then look and see how many of these have actually burnt down. Now, I do know that at least 4 to 5 of those places have burnt down. The Getty Museum now is on there. There's a few other locations. I'll get actually an updated list. It'll be shared to our Facebook because we were talking about we want to share this. So it'll go on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. But what if this is an organized people against people, right? Like, we're going against this satanic ritual, so we're going to burn down these sites. What if that's really what's at play and it's all being covered up? That's why you have the shortage on water to save a fish, a little bitty fish. Looks like a sardine, in my opinion. That's why they're not rerouting the water down to Cali. They're rerouting it to the ocean to actually save this fish. And Donald Trump talked about it.
Yeah.
But
everything's set up in place for fires to take over, basically.
well, I mean, every year though.
I know half my graduating class became firemen in Southern California. Mike, Josh, I mean, they're all. That's all everybody did was they're either firemen or I don't know, firemen.
Big money.
I don't know.
I mean,
Whatever.
I would assume it's big
Or rooming
money.
up with 5 of their friends because rent's so expensive. But the high winds and fires were always a friggin' thing. But why is it now? Why is it now all these historic sites, these strategic fires at a time where it seemed like a conspiracy?
It seems pivotal.
It seems pivotal, and it's right. The timing is epic. The timing. It's like, okay, it could be a coincidence, but all these fires when all this drama is coming out. And what's that one chick's name? Allie
Carter.
Carter.
Man, speaking of her, we actually got a video clip of her, but it's
She-
crazy that she called this.
And
She
for
said
y'all,
it.
and for y'all that don't know, Allie Carter, she's been a whistleblower forever as a sex slave.
Casey's actually spoke of Allie Carter a few
Dude,
times before on the show.
After watching one of her videos, it caught my attention where you can smell bullshit. Sometimes, you know, if you've been around bullshit, you can smell it. You can see the truth in her eyes and her voice. And the stuff she said is so shocking. And she said it's going to get worse. That when these things start happening, people say, oh, it could be taking down some satanic rituals. And you're thinking, if you didn't know any of this other stuff, that sounds off the wall fucking stupid. Like an extra chromosome or something. But it's so true. You almost got to like know the backstory to believe how they're trying to destroy evidence. And some people say, you know, how do you destroy a tunnel with a fire? It's not a matter of just destroying the tunnel, it's destroying all the evidence. DNA, I don't know, just reptilians coming up out of the ground.
I mean, I think
That's another
that
one.
you're on the right page when you get into burning DNA. You're hiding it. You know, you're making it to where
And also
you're not going to find any tracks.
and they could throw a cover over it because the insurance will pay out
No.
shit. It'll get bought. And
No, the thing is that that's the best part is there's no insurance, right? So no fire marshal comes in. Nobody has to say what was found. You build it. You sell it to your rich friend who fills that hole up in the ground with cement. It never happened. It was part of the new foundation that was laid because the house burned up.
Wasn't it hard to see like the footage in Lahaina when they're rebuilding?
You couldn't see it.
They had everything fenced off, and like as soon as it was burnt down, they kept everything out of there, and they rebuilt like right away.
That's what they're going to do with LA.
It was
It's
like,
called covering your
so
tracks.
hidden.
When
Everything
think
was
about
so
a house
hidden.
fire, it takes 6 to 9 months for some of these people that lose their home to just get their home rebuilt. And you mean to tell me that this place with no insurance, they're building it by hand and everything, which does allow you to work a little quicker, just is going to get rebuilt overnight? And why is it all of these billionaires? What I want to, so first off, all these billionaires, so all these prized possessions in their homes, because they have paintings, they have things that are history in their home. Now you go into the fact that the Getty's Museum burned. Nobody's talking about what artifacts in this museum were burnt. That is suspicious to me. If you were to hear the Smithsonian burnt down tomorrow, they're going to be talking about all the artifacts that were lost, all the things that were burnt in the fire. For this to be the Getty Museum, one, why are we not talking about what the fuck was burnt in the museum?
But I mean,
That should be a big thing, whether it's sculptures, paintings, writings. It's history that is being burned right in front of us.
yeah.
And who can account for what was lost?
I think there's probably more shady shit like under the museum, something like that of like history that you know is never going to get burnt down, like something that's where you hide shit
That's
that's
sketchy, Jared.
protected forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even if it's underground, the fire, if it's not cement building, it's going to burn down and destroy all of it. Or it could be preserved. None of us will know because it'll never be admitted to the public. So now you have a bunch of artifacts that can be sold in the black market to all these high-end celebrities. Now you go to what you see on the celebrity website one day, them with a sarcophagus in their fucking living room. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did he get that? No, that came out the Getty's Museum when it burnt. Don't worry about it. It's a long story. There's a lot of black market shit here, and we talk about just pedophilia, but stolen artifacts is also a billion-dollar industry. And this is a museum that was burnt, and nobody is questioning where's the shit and what was burnt. Where's the ledger that says, "Hey, we lost this."
But it's still kind of happening.
What up? What up, Nick? Well, shit. Not even then. Why wasn't there somebody like Jared said, a political figure making an impact statement? But on top of that, we lost the Getty Museum. It was world renowned for
Gettysburg.
No, Nick. I'm saying like that's what you might think, but we don't know, right? We knew more about Luigi Mangione than we know about a museum that has been burnt, that is supposedly such a historical museum. If that's not sketchy to you, I just have to ask you, like, really ask yourself, if the arch burnt tomorrow, what would be the first thing they talked about? The history.
How is it going to burn when the Mississippi's right next to it?
How did how did a whole city burn in the oceans right next to it? Like, that's called poor politics.
Well,
But
the arch is metal.
it can burn the interior.
You
Burn
don't
the
know what you're
interior out.
No.
I'm just saying, like, you think about history. That's again, I'm going to compare it to the Smithsonian. It's a museum. If a bunch of artifacts are burned, why is nobody talking about it?
Maybe
So
so.
what kind
Maybe
of
it's so like.
museum is this?
Maybe it's kind of like if it's a conspiracy and they're burning all this evidence. Maybe there's evidence under the museum.
Oh,
is
they
my
say
point.
there's a bunch of
Yeah.
levels to the Getty Museum.
Yeah. So
Yeah, which is
Oh,
really sketchy because it's European paintings, drawings, sculptures, illuminated manuscripts, and decorative arts.
that's crazy. And
Right.
a bunch of tunnels underneath. I'm certain of it.
I mean, that's what they say. I mean, they say there's like 12 levels under this bad boy if you dive into the conspiracy. And I haven't done enough research to talk about it, but my concern is exactly that. You just lost history, European manuscripts, illuminated manuscripts. Like, what was lost? Right? That'd be like if we lost the Bill of Rights in a fire. Wouldn't you want to know that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If the Constitution was burnt up or stolen by Nicolas Cage, I want to know. But honestly, I don't know enough about museums. I haven't looked at. I don't want to sound like an idiot, but then again, I'm an average Joe. I think an average Joe has no idea what's in the Getty Museum.
Do you know what's an art museum?
Art.
It's an art museum.
Okay, but I mean,
But they're calling it. Why is it not saying the art museum built up? Why are they saying the Getty Museum? Why is that so prominent to say to the world?
okay, like the building itself.
Yeah, like
rather
why is it such a big thing? Like if the Smithsonian burnt up, again, the Smithsonian burnt up.
Yeah, you're
If
like
the
holy
St. Louis
shit.
Art
Did
Museum
it burn
burnt
the
up,
tombs? Yeah,
they would say the art museum burnt.
you're like, oh, big deal.
Okay, why are we getting this labeled by name? What is the significance of this? You know, I was looking at trying to get a photo up, and I'll see if I can pull it up on my phone. It was an interesting photo sent to me by a friend that, actually, my brother Marcel. It was an upside down cross on the LA Fire News Conference around the neck of. Yeah, this ain't gonna work on the camera, but
Dude, that was crazy. In the picture right there, if you take a screenshot on your phone, you can zoom in it. Okay. There's she's wearing a necklace where normally you'd have a regular silver cross. Hers is upside down, obviously upside down,
blatantly upside down.
which takes effort to do because unless there's a little hook
You had
that
that
you put
made.
on there, you have it made. It's not something. Whoops! I accidentally wore it upside down. No, it's
You made it.
yeah,
It's
and
custom jewelry.
and you
The
can't
best
find the
part
video
is
now.
it's been deleted.
Yeah, they
That
deleted.
tells you when it starts getting deleted, shit starts getting moved. It does become scary, and it's what is just as a conspiracy theorist, I just got to know. And in my mind, it sucks. What is the agenda? I know you're like, oh, it's just a devastating fire. Nah, man, it's where it's located in the heart of where all these celebrities who just got what was it, Medals of Freedom or whatever by Joe Biden,
Yeah,
their houses are now burning up in a fire. Like what is really happening? You getting all these presidential pardons that are tied to pedophilia, and Donald Trump literally said it last night. You're leaving. Way to leave it fucked. Basically, he made a Twitter comment. I wish I could repeat it verbatim, but at the end of it, the gist was, "Way to leave me fucked, Joe." And I think that a lot of people need to brace for impact because when you have Mark Zuckerberg coming out saying, "Hey, we're gonna take away the fact checkers and we're gonna leave it to community notes," and there's like a 6-minute video on this, and I don't want to play the whole 6-minute video of him telling you what's
Yeah.
about to change. And I think that this is the Trump effect taking effect.
he looks guilty.
He did. He looked guilty as
Zuckerberg,
fuck.
yeah.
And the fact that he even pointed out that it's gotten too political. My question is, would it have changed if Kamala Harris was going in office? Would he have owned any of that shit?
Hell no.
That's the thing. I feel like everybody's trying to get
Hell
ahead of the
no.
ball, and they know Trump's coming in.
Shit
He's
would've
going to
got
say,
worse.
here's the list. Go after this. Go get the evidence. Oh, well, all those were burnt up in the fire, Mr. President. Excuse me.
It's got to tell you something when people are like, ravaging the ship and cleaning up really quick when someone's taking over power and they're cleaning up the one thing that they know he's going to frown upon. And what is it? Pedophilia.
The one thing that is the center of the spotlight.
So
they're
if you want,
cleaning
you
up.
can talk all the shit you want on Trump. You can love him, you can hate him, that alone speaks worlds to me, because if
The
we can
fact that-
stop one thing,
Man,
why not start with that?
but he's stopping so much. He's got wars coming to end.
Yeah,
You know, and some people are like, "Oh, he's the Antichrist. He doesn't speak several languages."
Yeah.
So in that
you're probably
that's
reptilian if
dead.
you're saying that.
But the
Most
reason
people
I
are
mean,
Republican; they just don't know it. They
who's to
want
say
Trump-
that he could
Trump voters.
usher, that in? But I think we're at a point in time that the cleanup is happening. There's going to be a lot of cover-ups, a lot of false agendas, false narratives pushed that we need to pay very close attention to
The best way to hide something is in the middle of a disaster.
every time.
So
When you
that's
push a bill through is in the middle of a disaster.
like, for example, that flipping guy who the Tesla Cybertruck blew up in front of the Trump thing. You really think an honored 23-year-old active military guy in a good good or bad marriage, doesn't matter. He was a well-liked, nice guy, shot himself in the head just to bring attention
There's
to
been a lot of evidence that came out saying that car was boop, 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 that sent to that location.
I do not believe, unless I saw it with my own eyes, I am convinced
I didn't know that.
that he did not, do it himself. So
There's not enough evidence to say that he sent a letter to let him know that, like, he thinks they're coming to get him. In my mind, I really feel like he was one step ahead of him, some John Wick shit, and he put the body in the bus or the Cybertruck and pressed the buttons and sent it there.
how do we know he even sent the emails?
My thing is, any trained professional ain't using fireworks.
A leave of absence. So he had to give a reason for the leave of absence. He went home to visit. So I don't know. Maybe the military's in on it. I'm just saying.
I mean, this shit goes deep, man. When you look at how much is covered up, how much is hidden. I mean, there was that fucking airplane of fucking kids coming out of Israel going to go to LA that got covered up. Nobody talks about it. Putin put it all over the fucking news
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
My thing is,
that made him look good. That's why they're not putting it up on the news.
well, we talked about it as far as we're fed propaganda from birth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The only propaganda you should know is your Bill of Rights, your constitutional rights, right? And so many people have been pushed away from it that they don't know that we're taking your freedom of speech slowly, right? They never knew that they even had freedom of speech because they're so used to it. They're entitled. And then they don't realize they don't have it until they can't say fag or gay or whatever on, you know what I'm saying, the internet.
Yeah,
And it's now to a point,
can't say words.
those aren't hateful words, especially like if you're not using it in bigotry. I can think of all the times of me and friends joking and saying something and it not being a big deal. And then you get this agenda of they want to push this. And we know that we're losing these people over here. So we're going to grab a group over here and we're going to pander to them, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get them under our wing. So then we're going to protect them. But when I look at that protected group, no offense to them, y'all are some fuck ups. Because if you look at Cali and you look at who was in charge, it was all part of that DEI community, okay?
And
That LGBTQ.
when he says they're all fuck ups, it's funny because as much as you want to go, ooh, that was harsh, Stacy, everybody pictured somebody in their head that he was talking to. So you're fucked up too.
Exactly.
We're just actually saying it. You thought it.
But when you look at the group, the fire marshals, like, no disrespect, no sexist, anything. I would have never looked at this group and thought fire marshals. One of them, which I'm going to post a picture of them to Facebook for everybody to see, and I want you to answer what they look like. They look like an actor in a movie. You know what I mean? Like, they
Mhm.
literally look like you would never be in this position. A fire marshal, bitch? Like, you couldn't run up the stairs or pass the fucking physical, bitch. Like, how? Like, but again, this is why I look too far into it, because when you start putting shit in front of us too quick and shit doesn't line up to the physical physique of a person, and for a firefighter,
That was a
you
hot
can move.
topic in like 97, 98. I remember when I was like a senior in high school. They're like talking about, oh, they're lowering the standards for the physical fitness test to make it easier for women. Oh, is that right or wrong? This was an argument for
You want to see the effect of wokeism?
30 years.
This being woke bullshit and sticking to the trend and the agenda and going with the group.
Man,
Look
my wife
at-
and I are woke.
Look at California. For all of you that want to follow the trend, look at California and the state they're in. They've got bills going through where they can have consensual sex with kids. You know what I mean? That as far as pushing pedophilia agendas, you have nothing but overpriced bullshit, and it's all cliche, want to look an image. And that's what you want. You want theft running crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You want laws that are fucking everyone. You want taxes out of the ass. That is what you get when you go with that woke shit that we want to follow. We want to include everybody. Now, are you a fucking idiot? Some people are meant to be left behind. There was
Yeah.
a short bus for a
Some
reason.
people were meant to be left behind.
There was a short
You
bus.
don't watch a nature channel and the whole fucking herd stops for the dude in the back.
Hey, this is what I love to say, right?
Love
There was a
nature
short
channel.
bus for a reason. But when we hit 18, those people on that short bus got let into society with us. The only thing back then is we knew who they were because of the bus.
Yeah.
Now that same motherfucker that might have been on that bus could be driving your bus. Like, that is scary.
Then
Like,
you have retards driving retards.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's retarded.
No, what's scary is these are the people that got let into society because we didn't want to leave people behind. Some people are meant to
some
be
people
left
are meant
behind,
to be left
man.
behind. You know, you gotta teach what you can teach and
Move
you gotta
forward.
move forward. And while all this drama and disaster and conspiracy and everything's going on, don't forget to have fun. That's all I want to say. Just don't forget to enjoy yourself. Look at the beautiful snow. And speaking of which,
That's you, your peace of mind.
that's actually something I wanted to talk about. So yeah, there's all this pedophilia and all this stuff going on. And I don't know about you, Stacy, but I like to enjoy myself. I like to end the
I
day.
don't know how. I'm like, that don't go hand in hand. Like,
I
I like pedophilia.
Hold on.
I like to enjoy myself. Whoa, no.
If you were to take that little segment, that looks really bad. Hey, you like a good time, right? Wait a second.
This ain't a Diddy party, baby.
No, it's not. My point being, it's all about peace of mind. Everybody goes towards peace of mind. Everybody wants peace of mind. Everybody's like longing for something. Small problems become big problems. What you're focusing on, what you're not focusing on. I used to be there, actually, friggin' in my first marriage. I remember pulling up in my charter van into the driveway and out loud saying, I hate my life. And I'd smile and I'd look in the rearview mirror and I'd finish the rest of my beer and I'd walk in the house and take care of my beautiful daughter and put up with whatever. My point being, every now and again when you have problems, I found now here in my later life, sobriety one is key for me. But if you're ever having a hard time or you're getting depressed or this weather's bringing out anything, take a second and zoom the fuck out. And I want everybody to picture this. I want you to picture this in your head, okay? If you play Grand Theft Auto, it's pretty easy too. Just put it on the
Final Fantasy, any of those. Any role-playing
games, or you're a drone, you're looking above your head, you're a character in Sims. Everybody remembers Sims. That's a fun game.
It's a perfect example.
That was a fun game. That was addictive.
I feel like we're a sim.
We are a sim. So we're basically controlling your own sim, but unfortunately we're lazy. And we can't type in Rosebud over and over again and get free money. So, but picture yourself like right over your head, okay? I call it zooming out. Some people already know what I mean because it helps tremendously. Whatever problem you have, just picture yourself and zoom the fuck out, okay? Zoom out. All of a sudden, you're further away from yourself. All right, now your watch is unreadable. Your hair.
You're watching the ant on the ground.
You can see yourself walking. You're like an ant on the ground. Okay, then you're zooming out even further, and there's a bunch of ants. They're all over the place. They're on the ground. You don't see fucking Lamborghinis. You don't see the hotels. You don't see valet parking. You see land masses. You see a bunch of little specks of people.
Kind of look at it like this when you're watching the movie, because Casey's really long-winded with this, and it zooms out like in a superhero movie, where they're at the Earth and they hit them into space and they're like, and they're looking down at Earth.
Are you talking about ramen noodles?
I'm talking about as far as the zoom out.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're seeing it.
Well, you zoom out. My point being, and I'm getting there. I know I'm long-winded, but I really want you to get the effect. All right. I want you to picture yourself at this point and everybody else, and say you change a color with your emotion. Okay. You got all these little specks walking around,
Like
and
a
all
mood
you're
ring?
doing, like a mood ring. Yeah. You have you're sad, you're blue. If you're happy, you're super green or pink or whatever color you want to be. Whatever one makes you fucking happy. In a nutshell, if you're an alien life form looking at us like this, we are just a bunch of little specks glowing different colors, eating, shitting, and fucking and reproducing. That's all we're doing. We are
We're
an apple
rats
tree creating more and more apples that are going to come, they're going to go, they're going to die.
with a
It's
perfect lab rat.
now it's what don't give it no conspiracy theory. You're gonna break my train of thought. All right, now knowing this, you have to know all this and understand and respect the fact that you're going to come and go, and at the end of the day, you're just a speck walking around having emotions. You're going to die. Do you make a difference? Maybe. Hundreds of thousands of years from now, no, you don't. So zoom back in and then reevaluate the problem that you're having. The weather
Is it that
sucks.
serious?
Is it that serious? Because one day you're going to die, and how you feel right now, if you die tomorrow, that's how you're going out. That's how you're going out saying, I hate my fucking life. Now, when you get to the point where you're like, I can't wait to live another day if I'm that fucking blessed, what can I do health wise? What can I eat to spend more time in this glorious fucking place? Then you're doing it right. And then you want to do better. Then you want to get off your ass. You want to eat good. You want to get what you like. If you don't have what you like right now and you bitch about it, you say, I don't get paid enough money. I don't get this. I don't get that. When you're
That's your fault.
zooming the fuck out, don't zoom all the way out to space. Zoom out a little bit. See what your character is going around and focusing on and getting these emotions. If it's looking at a blank fucking screen of hours of stuff of people getting paid to produce for you, you're not getting anywhere towards what you want for your dream. Take it out of the fucking equation. I gave away my PlayStation. I realized I was so fucking good at Sims, Grand Theft Auto, all these fucking games. That's where I was giving my attention. If I want a house, I would get good at that if I focused on it. I got rid of everything that didn't bring me ahead. And now I'm that guy. Instead of saying I hate my life, I get home and I'm like, honey, I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Let's do something right now. And then we usually have sex. And when speaking of sex, man, we had a conversation.
Rub it in. I don't have that life.
Oh, hey, I
I
like
need that life. Hey, where is that?
Babe, check this out. You know that conversation we had earlier, babe? I like fucking with her sometimes before we do this show. And I was like, I said, we were going to talk about sex positions. What would you say is our favorite out of all of them? She responded, you are hilarious. Your guess is as good as mine. Ha ha. Lazy on the side. Oh yeah. So that's us getting racy, talking about shit, and that's my little peace of mind segment. So whenever you're dealing with, even if it's a divorce, whatever is so sad in your life, zoom out a little bit, realize it's not a big deal, zoom back in and change what you can change.
Only things that are big deals in life, in my opinion, are deaths.
Deaths are
That's
going to
the one
happen.
that is-
They're not a big deal. That's
In Europe, that's your opinion, and like I stated from the very jump, which my opinion matters,
no, barely,
is that I will say the only thing that matters is death, because that warps your reality. No matter what you do,
okay.
And I'll speak of this from my point of view, is the fact that your job changes, everything changes, but there's certain things consistent in your life, and that's normally your mother, your father, friends, family, right?
And death.
No, that's where I'm going. And
Oh,
again, you
sorry.
can try to jump ahead on it, but I just gave you your time. You can't give me mine.
I didn't know you're going. You didn't get a little label saying peace of mind. I didn't know you were going on a rant.
I'm not on a rant.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I was saying.
I think the things that you need to worry about are the times with your family, because if you don't, that death will be even more impactful. So when you want to talk peace of mind, I think you get peace of mind when you're around family, the people you love. And family ain't always blood. It's the people that, like Casey, I look at him like family. I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's family to me. And that's
I'd rather hang out with Stacy than go travel to Nevada and have a cousin fucking weekend.
Hey, when you said that shit, and
that
I looked
literally
at you,
happened the other day.
I was like, "Are you gonna go?" And you were like, "No."
I was like, oh, my cousins got in contact with me. They want to fly out in October and meet up for a couple days and do a hike. And, just we haven't seen since we're like little kids. And he goes, oh, cool, you going? I was like, fuck no, I'm not going.
And all I could do is
And,
laugh because
and
like
not
I know
because,
him.
and not because it's so out of the question that I would go or do something fun with family,
It's a
but
waste of time, Dan.
I told him I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
know
I
why?
don't crave it
You know why? Because you're happy.
because I focused already on the inner what I fucking
Mhm.
need in my life. And whoever set up the whole get together, they probably need it. So if your
So
cousins
can
mean
I
that
say
much to you,
something on their defense?
what?
What if that's the moment that family needs you, right? And maybe I might not be there. FaceTime me on the hike. I'll join the conversation. It's like, but in reality, what if they really do need you? And I always think about this, and I think that's why sometimes I'm a really good friend because we may not have talked forever, but if we were a friend and you really need me and you were to call my phone, I'll listen. Don't mean that at the end when I hang up, I give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I am going to give you the chance to listen. But I'm not flying to Nevada to go hike with you to hear your problem when you could just call me on the phone and you don't even do that.
I
So-
I knew you're a good friend when I was saying weird shit on shrooms and you didn't make a big deal about it.
oh, when I came over your house, and he looks at me and goes, I'm tripping right now. I was like, okay.
He's like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, okay, so if I say anything weird, he's like, no, I'm hip. I was like, yeah. And by the way, last time I did shrooms was the last time which was in Hawaii. But shrooms, by the way, I do not see as a drug. It's more of a psychedelic. See things from a different perspective. And my biggest epiphany that I had about nature and like looking at your problems from within and like getting your bubble small, I was on shrooms when I
Hey,
had that epiphany.
so I will say 100%. There's studies behind Harvard and them doing antidepressant tests on shrooms, right, on psilocybin. And it is real life being proven that it will help you with depression and anxiety. And I will say,
Don't just go jump into some.
no,
shrooms,
I'm
by
going
the
to
way.
say this. When you do it, the one thing they say is don't look in the mirror, look in the
Look
mirror.
in the fucking mirror. But
Because
be
the
careful.
reason you want to avoid it is the party. If you're really doing it to like help yourself, look in the mirror. You're going to say shit to yourself that you didn't know was in you. You're going to say things, you're going to hype yourself, you're going to tear yourself apart, but you're going to be real with yourself.
And this isn't like
Like
one of those
it's,
things where it's like,
I'm
oh
not
yeah,
encouraging you to do it
you
at
eat some
all.
shrooms and then you'll purposely, oh, I'm gonna go purposely say some stuff in the mirror
No,
because I'm on shrooms. No, you
you'll
actually get
find yourself there.
you get so fucking honest to yourself when you're on shrooms. That's why drug dealers don't sell them, and you don't hear about, hey man, you want to go do some shrooms? It's more like, dude, I got some shrooms. I realized what a fucking asshole I am.
Facts.
It's like, and I realized I need to
Facts.
change my life. Get those things away from me.
And it's crazy because people don't understand. Like they'll look at you crazy because of the history of shit. I'm not telling you do acid. I'm not telling you do LSD. I ain't saying none of that shit. Shrooms
I heard
are
I
natural.
heard some of that stuff's crazy. I'm not
Man,
gonna
look,
do it though.
I'm not a drug tester. I will say after doing a lot of
Not
research
anymore.
on anxiety and research on depression, and my dad suffered from it all the way to the point that he basically quit taking his medicine and killed himself at the age of 50. I've looked into what he looked into. I wanted to know, and after trying them, it only takes one time, one good time. You don't need to fuck with them no more. Like to the point that I looked at them so bad, I threw them bitches on a shelf and forgot they were there. Like, it scared the shit out of me, and it didn't scare me in a bad way. It scared me in the fact that I'm not living in my purpose. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and like you'll form the plan while you're on them. You just got to remember the plan. So I'm going to tell you what I wish I'd have did in certain circumstances. Record yourself talking, so you can remember tomorrow, because you need to really. And I'm not saying go find drugs to find your inner peace. I think personally now some of the things I've tried, meditation, in a very quiet location or by water while grounding yourself, sitting at one with the land.
That's the thing. Yeah.
You can literally sit there, close your eyes, meditate, go into deep thought, and really think about yourself. And the problem is, so many of us lie to ourselves that they don't want to look at the real shit. This is the thing. If you can't take accountability,
Accountability is a big thing.
don't even start, because you can put yourself down a path of lies.
Accountability comes with honesty. And I got honest about a lot of shit in the last few years that I used to maybe not disclose or just not talk about or whatever. Just anything. You can ask me anything. I'm an open book now. But then again, you probably won't see me because I only put myself around people I like,
I only go in public when I have to.
and I don't like most of you.
It's real shit.
I don't. I just like
Hey,
you, Paula.
Like, I fuck with
Hey, babe.
Casey, man, because look,
I love you, babe.
today, and it's funny because he does love you, and I've always known that. I've known that since I've known him. But today, I was telling him, I was like, man, when you talk about fate, you talk about relationships, and you talk about how the world is nowadays, and everybody's out for themselves, and everybody's selfish. I hope for everybody, like me and Asia found each other in high school. You know what I'm saying? We grew. You're an adult. You found your wife 40, 38.
Yeah, 40, 42.
Exactly.
43.
But the difference is when Casey focused on himself, his partner found him, and his partner was focused on herself, and their paths aligned.
Yeah, if I
Too
met
many-
her 20 years ago, we would probably not have worked out. We probably would have hated each other.
Well, I was going with this is too many people are trying to force fate.
Settling.
You know, we talked about content. We talked about this at work today. We were talking about content, settling, being secure versus being happy. And there's a person we work with, and Casey knows more than I do, and he was saying he was going to talk about him on the show about it. But I think you only get security when you get trust and love. So there's like an
Yeah.
exchange there. If you can say you're secure, are you secure or complacent? Now, if I'm secure, I'm not leaving secure. But if you're complacent and you're putting up with shit, you're putting up with things you shouldn't put up with, is it worth it to you?
This dude, when the funny thing is, when we're bringing up relationships and everything, talking about how long we've been with people, and dude said, they've been together for 12 years, and I was like, and he
10. He said 10.
10. Maybe I was changing it so that way the facts weren't exact on, so that people could
I'm
put
sorry.
the pieces
I'm
together.
sorry.
Since his girlfriend works with us.
Oh shit! Don't give all the info. Like,
Anyways,
he said, "Are you gonna get married?"
and he said, "God no!" Like in disgust. We're like, think about it. Like he said, "Yeah, you're gonna be together forever. We've been together for 12 years. We're gonna be together. You're gonna get married? Hell no!" It's like, why is it so off?
When he said that, did you see how I looked at you?
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Yeah, because it
"Fuck,"
was like,
and then
he
Casey's
said,
like,
and then
"Well,
he
I know
said,
you're-"
with everything we've been through in our lives, marriage is not on the list. We're happy where things are at right now. It's just working. But he's basically saying it's working right now, but he didn't want to like put us,
he don't think it's gonna work forever.
He's trying to stop. He's not putting money in that stock. Okay.
Hey, because I looked at Casey and like I literally, it was so awkward that I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on." So in Casey,
Yeah, and then
neither one of them
immediately,
told me what the fuck they were being complacent about.
like any couple, they have had ups and downs. But when you know some of the details, you're like, you know what, dude, I can't fucking blame you. If I was in your situation, which I'm not, I don't know how I would act. All I know is that's happened to me before.
If you were in her situation, knowing him, can you blame? I don't know.
But look at it from both points of view.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
When
Like,
those problems arose, were they one-sided?
yeah, because I don't know what.
I don't know. That's why I don't. Actually,
all I'm gonna say, if there was infidelity
I don't
there, we know the one person. Could you see them getting cheated on? I feel like if he
no,
was
because
acting-
when he told me like over 10 years ago, he told me that he used to lay the pipe.
you gotta stay laying the pipe, baby. You can't
I'm
just
sticking,
stay
baby.
laying the
I
pipe
lay the
once.
pipe,
Hey, look,
baby.
no, laying the pipe once ain't laying the pipe, and laying the pipe 10 years ago ain't laying the pipe now. Okay, like there's a difference there. That is crazy. Like for a person to say I lay the pipe, and I'm not saying they don't. But if you use the term "I lay the pipe,"
Okay,
you
close
probably
your eyes and
don't
try to
lay the
picture
pipe.
this person laying the pipe.
I'm like, I envisioned it the moment you said it, him and saying it, and I was like, yeah, you don't lay the pipe.
Now
That's not
picture
something
him
you'll
at
say.
a Diddy party and he's looking for the bathroom. He gets pushed in the side room and
Having way
Diddy's
too
with
much
him.
fun.
Now picture him getting the pipe laid on him.
No, I'm good. That's just a little bit too far past what I'm going to think about.
You thought about it?
No, I didn't. I
You're
thought
thinking
about
it right now.
I'm not actually. What I thought about was
Oh,
how
you're
crazy
sweating.
it is
Okay.
because for you to be okay, you work with this person.
I love this guy actually.
No, I'm
He's a
saying
great
like
guy.
him. He's a good guy. But I'm saying you work with your girlfriend, and you're saying, "Hell no, I wouldn't marry her." Like you, is that a mental thing? Because in my mind, when he said that, I was like, "You a fucking
My
liar."
mind's telling me
Well, I'm
no.
saying he's got to be lying. You work with her. You're around her all the time. At this point, you have to accept that
Well,
you
yeah,
were
no,
married.
it's been 12 years too, so it's like
I got
we're
17, and it's not saying that you wouldn't get married. It's saying that, like, for some people, it's tax purposes.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Some people, and this is what I was getting at earlier. Some people settle. Like some people settle. Like, yeah, hell no, I ain't going there. But take yourself back to when you're younger. You had your first crush, and you had this. I remember the first time I had butterflies in my stomach over feelings for somebody of the opposite sex, and it's a feeling. And then you fantasize. Then you think about growing old and picket fences and families. You never think, oh, I can't wait to my third marriage and I'm paying child support and I settle for somebody because I have nothing better going on. Man, I can't wait for that day. So what I'm saying is don't settle. Otherwise, you're going to be searching for
Miserable.
something that you'll never
You'll
have.
be miserable.
Cut it off now. The
Hey,
kids will be fine.
If you find somebody that makes you happy, I mean genuinely happy.
I'm not saying
like,
they need to cut it off. They're
happy
awesome
to see
together.
you're happy to see them when you get home. You're happy to wake up to them in the morning. Hold that shit, man, because I'm telling you now, there's somebody out there that wants it, and if they can get it from yours, they're gonna do their best to get it.
Yeah,
And
because you're not the only one who can lay some pipe.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of people lay pipe before.
you know, nowadays they make dildos that lay pipe.
Get out of here.
I never knew it.
Yeah, right.
Man, look, they got some crazy
I'm sure
shit
you're gonna
out
tell me
there.
it looks like a penis too.
No, I was gonna say it looks like a sex machine. I don't understand it. Like if I gotta compete with that shit, all
Yeah,
right, we might have a problem.
I mean, I'll watch. I'll take some tips.
Get some popcorn.
Here, give my notes.
Which angle does she like the best?
Oh, you want to see what I got on my notes here?
She seems to go down at a 33-degree angle quite a bit. I have to remember that. Like, it's hella fucked up. I'm gonna take notes with it.
Well,
no, it's
earlier you said something crazy earlier, and I wish I was trying to think of what it was because every now and again you say something and you realize what you just said out loud, and you're like kind of like the George Carlin sketch way back in the day, but words that people have never put in order before, and you catch yourself doing it, like in the movie Grandma's Boy. My grandma drank all my pot. Nobody's ever said that before. Earlier, I said, I can do it, but I'll probably fuck up your cup holder. And I was thinking, man, I probably never said that before to
you
somebody.
did say that, yeah.
So I wrote it down. That's how excited. Because I don't have a phone right now. I forgot that at
Oh
home.
yeah. Hey, look, this is how you know Casey's happy. Okay, he left his phone at home. Like, it's okay, I got my watch.
Oh my God, check this out.
Like,
I left my phone at home, and my wife went home. She said, "Where's your phone?" I said, "It's by my clothes." So she went and grabbed it. She's probably watching our show on
Your
YouTube right
YouTube,
now just to
yeah.
give us a view because she's an awesome
Well, I
wife.
mean that
and she
I'm not
cares
worried
my
about going
hobbies.
through my phone or no shit like that. I'm just talking
No,
about as
but
far as motherfucker. I'm like, what if something? I'm the one who freaks out. I'm like, what happens if something happens and I'm not there and I need that call, or like I'm the person they're gonna call. I got a 6-year-old, man. You know,
Yeah.
you get that call, I need to be able to move immediately. And I don't have an Apple Watch for those who, you know what I mean. I'm not that guy. I'm not tech savvy. I like my analog. Shit works whenever the power don't. Like, so
I mean, short of somebody dying, you're gonna find out.
So, and I think about that back in, like, I remember
Even if
being in
somebody's
a car
dead.
accident when I was 8, right? And my dad found out first because he got home first to the house phone, right? So he wasn't able to call my mom to tell my mom because there was no cell phone and she was on the way home from work. And the franticness that happened when we got back and he calls her from the hospital to say we're at the hospital, like all the panic that takes place, right? Now we don't have that. We don't know who really cares because they don't come rushing to the hospital. They just FaceTime.
God, I love calling people out of the blue.
Oh, I hate that fucking shit. God damn. I like Casey calling me, but then the thing is, Casey will FaceTime you at a random time, and then when you FaceTime him back, you don't answer.
You're like, I thought it was an emergency. It's like, yeah, well, it's not. But
if you
I
call 2
call
times
you,
in a row, we all know that's the universal. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you call once and hang up. I'm like, all right, I can call.
Speaking of infidelity, I had this thought the other day when I was. No, I had these thoughts about infidelity. No, I was thinking FaceTime really screwed with like a lot of people who cheat. It's like, why did you answer me when I FaceTimed you, but you answered when I called you? I'm sure there's been that argument.
My phone was off the whole time. I'm just saying, like that ain't Asia, that ain't me. I'm just saying, like that is. Well, if you're smart, that's how you're gonna respond. Okay, like there's no other option because why would you answer? Like if you're cheating, why would you answer? Like, are you a fucking idiot?
I don't know.
Because if
Maybe
I was, hey, if
there's
I
always
was the
that guy
nigga,
in the movie that,
man,
hey,
look,
honey.
I'm telling you now, if I was that nigga you cheating with and your nigga call you, answer that phone if you want to. I'm like, hey, bro, we sharing. Like I'm yelling, and I'm gonna expect the girl I'm with, if I'm cheating, her to yell the same shit. You crazy? Like,
Remember in 8 Mile when Brittany Murphy was cheating on Eminem?
Vaguely, I don't remember a
Yeah,
lot of
with
movies.
the dude in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Never really thought about it. Never really thought about it. I've always just been, there's porn sites for that. You don't have to imagine with a fucking 8 Mile movie. Like
What's a porn site?
a corn site? You never heard of a corn site?
Oh yes, where they have a bunch of like different stalks of corn.
Yeah, I mean, definitely different positions.
Lazy on the side.
Lazy
They call
on
me
the side.
Casey Lefty Casey. Because lazy lefty.
Hey, Casey, look, wait, what? I'm still here, babe. Well, we know you're here, Paula. We didn't think you left us.
Oh no.
He was talking about how much he loves you.
How
and
are the
he can't
chickens,
wait
babe?
to see you tonight.
You check on the chickens. We don't have any casualties, do we?
Hey, y'all need to quit wasting meat. That's good meat.
Yeah. I just kind of throw them off into the snow. I used to give them a little burial and say a couple kind words. But after like so many of them, you're like,
So
you're just
you
like, I
welcome
wonder how far I can
coyotes.
throw it.
You welcome scavengers onto your property to know where the meat is, rather than you eat the meat that was provided to you by your land.
No, yeah, trust me. I justify it in my head. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
Why not eat the meat?
They're little tiny little.
Oh, when you said
Yeah.
teenage chickens, I'm thinking,
No.
ready to go out there. Martial
No.
conflict ring.
When chickens are teenagers, they're not like humans when they're teenagers and plumpy and more edible. They're actually smaller and less meaty. That'll.
I've
Yeah.
never ate
Where
human to
we're-
know
where
when they're
we're
plumpier
growing-
and juicier.
Let me ask you this: if you were to eat a human, what human
Baby.
would you eat? Give me an age,
Baby,
sex, and
baby,
wait. Oh, I thought you were calling me baby.
baby. No,
You're-
I'm answering you, baby.
That is
pure.
That's a
That
great
meat's gonna
answer. And that goes back to my whole restaurant idea.
Nah, never gonna be. And for those that think it's weird, just real life, if you think about the end of the world situation,
Oh yeah,
are you going to want to pick the person that's been feeding on greasy, fat food all his life? Or,
Hey, speaking
I'm
of
just
thought
saying.
process, you got that clip?
Which one?
The one of that kid who the cops came and asked him.
Oh, this is.
I can't believe it.
At random too. Why? I don't get it.
Don't have any answer. How old is Brian?
He's 19.
He's 19.
What's going on, man? Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Like, for real human head and hands?
Yes.
From?
That fellow who went missing recently.
Which fellow was that?
Warren Brown.
Warren Brown? When did he go missing?
The night of the 27th.
The night of the 27th? Okay, and how did you end up with him?
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
Hey, man, if you didn't hear his voice change and see his demeanor change,
We need less of
That
that
motherfucker-
mentality. That's what happens when
he
you play
looked like
video
a
games all
demon.
day in your basement.
it looked like a demon took him over. He's
I would say
A
demon.
head and
I would
hands.
say like a dark inner truth. A demon.
like, what else is that?
But not a scary demon. Like I can take that demon. When I see a demon like in a movie, it's like that demon will
That
fuck
human,
me up.
that human, I could
That
take. The
human
man,
demon,
that man who wanted to see what murder was
my
like.
hands would be safe around him. 'Cause
He
I'd
killed a
fuck him
nigga
up.
with a knife. Who knows? You
Oh,
don't know how
speaking of which-
dangerous he could be. That's a dangerous nigga.
Hey, speaking of which, guess who's gonna start forging?
Blacksmithing.
The blacksmithing. Give me a week or two, and I'm gonna have the forge going. Gonna get a welder. I already watched a million videos. And so if you want a specialized knife, don't ask me. I'll be busy making my own knives. That's my new. It's gonna be my new hobby. I'm picking up a new hobby of forging. So, my wife said as soon as I tear down the old closet in the bedroom to open up the room, I can start forging. And I'm going to do that this weekend.
Okay.
Hashtag
Well,
goals, motherfucker.
One thing we didn't play was the Allie Carter video. And I want to play that before we hop
Oh, she's
off.
the sex slave girl.
This was the sex
Put
slave
it
girl
on.
we got on the subject. We talked about her a few times, but listen to her.
There's gonna be these explosions that lead to fire that burns evidence. There's gonna be 2 new deaths. Whether they're fake or not. You know how the court system is going. You can see what the authority are doing. We've already done Hawaii with the blue roofs getting burned. We've done New York. We've done with the cats and dogs being eaten. We've done it all. So what are we doing about the children? We got the drones in the sky. We got the aliens out. We know that our celebrities are guilty, okay? What are we doing about the children? What's different?
That's a good point. I mean, you hear about all this shit. You hear about this shit. You're waiting for it to come out. I mean, other than the kids being saved in that Putin friggin' aircraft thing, but where are the kids at?
You got the
Right here.
tunnels too, right?
I got a video that goes right along with that.
So you ever wondered while driving in Los Angeles, how come you've never seen like Will Smith stuck in traffic on the 405?
Yeah.
I've never seen a 1%er just in their car stuck in traffic.
Why is that?
That's because there's a series of intricate tunnels underneath Los Angeles known as the Achterbahn. I'm not kidding. Like, they get access points to move through the city without ever having to be in traffic. You can come up in LAX, you can pop up at Dodger Stadium. Underneath there in those tunnels is Starbucks set up at different locations to allow them to get coffees while they're driving.
This has been underneath Los Angeles for a few years now. I mean, how long has this been there for?
I mean, it predates me. It seems like the city was built on top of it. So, I mean, I think this goes all the way back to the 20s.
This doesn't.
Yeah, and that even gets into a deeper tunnel when you're talking about
Tartaria.
Ooh,
So next week's episode, we'll be talking about Tartaria.
Tartaria. Google it.
Google it.
Or
Do your
don't.
research. The ancient world.
He blew my mind like 2 hours ago.
You start looking into airships, free power, free electricity, how this world ran before us. And then you look at the Great Mud Flood and you look at different things that start showing there's a reason when you're in these other countries like Iraq, Iran, and they go, a couple 15, 20 feet under the ground, all of a sudden they're pulling artifacts. You go to Egypt, same thing, 15, 20 feet underground after layers of mud, all of a sudden artifacts. This is all over the world.
Yeah.
And this is something that we're going to deep dive into. I can't wait.
Back into my old thing I was saying earlier. We're just going to come and go. There's going to be more of us. So while all this crazy shit's going on, have a little peace of mind. And don't forget to come hang out with friends, because friends gather here.
Man, look, I can't wait to see what level of soil we'll be. We'll never know, but
Man,
who knows when they discover us what they're going to think.
They're going to be
Why
like,
is
oh
this
my
man
God.
dressed like a woman in his casket? The fuck is this?
Well, the clothes will be disintegrated by then. They won't know that. They'll just be like, oh, this is the dude in the casket.
Leather?
Why does he have like a little poodle next to him dead?
Oh my God. Oh, that shit I didn't even
That's-
think about. That's real.
Yeah.
The fucking weird shit rich people get buried with. And there's mausoleums. So, I mean,
Whole different topic.
we will see. But again, I'm Stacy.
I'm Casey.
And this is the
Stacy and Casey Show.
You have a great night.
Peace.